Hey everybody, this is DayTraderRockStar and this is the market radar for Thursday, April 2nd. April 2nd. Happy April Fool's Day, everyone. I've been slacking on the market radar. I've been just doing the watch list videos and focus on the broadcasting, but I want to get back into the market radar, especially, it was meant to be, an update to overall market conditions in case we see a developing pattern or something that has a higher probability of working out. Over the last few sessions, we've been climbing up into this wedge pattern, which is typically a bearish setup, and we've bounced off aggressively off the last oversold 60. We crossed back over, pulled back to the trend line, fought with it for a couple of days, popped up off of it, was a nice pop, and then sold off. And then today we actually came back down underneath that trend line. And you can see the daily here, still kind of a negative bias, even though we kind of flatlined it out. And then the 60-minute time frame here, which has been key on the shorter term moves. Definitely a nice setup here off of this trend line with the 60 pop back up. Look how we got overbought here, pulled back, just starting to get oversold, but kind of flatlined. Also here, that 2630 area, and it's not. I'd love to get a nice rotation back there. See that nice support line hold up, but whenever we kind of flatline here, there's the opportunity of just a little further move down. So I would leave that open for tomorrow. The opportunity for a little flush, take out recent lows and see how the market reacts off of that. We'll be close to on the 60. Give it time for that daily to get further oversold, and really kind of break down this wedge pattern. Now the wedge pattern, typically we look at this as a maybe a measured move, and that measured move brings us well under 2,000. Now I'm not saying that's going to happen. By no means, but I am concerned of the recent weakness. It hasn't really been that weak. If we look at a close-up picture here, I mean we're still just we're hop, skip, and a jump away from new highs, and we have to remember that. We have to remember that this things are still looking pretty good overall. So the daily here, I mean the hourly, almost oversold. We left off on the 5-minute chart, kind of. We're really concentrated on this over the last 2 days, and we actually saw there was a couple divergences playing out. There was one right here at 3 o'clock. We had a nice push into this, and there was another one earlier in the day which we took. And I want to break this down. The reason I'm showing you all this is that we're concentrating more on the ES mini trades, and I'm telling you. I've been banging the table on this. It gets me excited to get into the market each and every day. It gets me to the office each day. It's the setups that we're looking for on the ES. So we're going to switch over here to the ES, and we're going to do part of the review is actually going to go back and take a look at some of the setups and just walk us through the market. We'll start here on Tuesday. And basically when the market opens, I'm looking for a couple things. First we have to identify the overall trend, and then take the patterns into the trend. I'd like to get a lane divergence pullback into a bigger trend. Here we had a nice one, followed back up, and again, and it happens fast. That's why we have a lot of focus on this. This is on the 1-minute chart. These signals have been dynamite. So, just because they're not coming every 5 minutes, like today, which go back, we had 2 good setups. And each one of these subs could have been extended moves. I've taken them off really early, and I think we're going to change that strategy just to hold a couple more cars and kind of scale out of this process, because the setups that we get are usually textbook major pivot areas during the day. 950, there was a great one, and then again there was another good one at right around 12:10 to 12:20. And both of these here had a really nice move from it. And then we had a nice channel. And then we actually had this little flag set up. And we kind of discussed how you could read the flag set up using the 3 stochastic indicators, where one of them here is actually moving up. The other 2 are moving down. And this actually represents this area up here. It's not this right here. You have to line it up. When this was happening, we're right in this trend line. And we know that the rise in trend line here in this type of market tends to break down for the bigger moves, and so we were preparing ourselves for a breakdown of this pattern. So when we see this rotation back up right here, you're pushing up against that, and these are still pointing down. There's a good shot this is going to be that flag, and we're going to break down. That's exactly what happened. We came down, we established another tight channel, and then we bounced out of it. We got closer to 3 o'clock, and then 3 o'clock came along, and we kind of just churned and burned back up. So it's important to understand what trades I'm going to be taking on ES. I'm going to stick very strong to that methodology. In one of the posts, I want to, you're going to hear the word mechanical in my trades, and I don't want anybody to get discouraged from that. I just want you to understand that these are great setups. So, if you're only getting 2 to 3, maybe even we get lucky, get 4 good setups. You're looking at high probability setups. At this point, we're talking multiple cars down the road. I just would like to get the really good established divergence and decide at that point what type of setup it is. We noticed one on I think it was on the 1 minute on this today. Was it earlier today? Where was that? It was a running divergence, actually. It was a nice one. Have to go back and find out. It was right here. It's right around 12:15. What we call a running divergence. It was just a little higher highs, higher lows here, lower lows on the price, and from that point we kind of just drifted back up. So there's the setups are out there. They're showing up. They're very clear. It's just a matter of waiting for them. When they set up, we see them either on the 5 minute or the 1 minute. They represent the scalp setups. The 60-minute time frame definitely could take advantage of that on the scalp, but hopefully we get bigger moves off the 60. And that leads us up until tomorrow. Tomorrow's basically the same situation. It's not much has changed, other than that 60 has gotten a little bit closer to being oversold, and the daily hasn't really given us anything. It still looks a little weak here, So I'm saying if we actually get a move down tomorrow, I'll be actually looking for further divergences to pick up and just take that step by step, one trade at a time, and from that point on, just trade the market. Not really worry about if we're going to get that big pop, because that day will come. Those setups will come, and right now we're not going to read into it too much. But if we could actually get a little further move down, get those setups, we're just going to take those trades and continue to just try to bring that percentage up. I want every setup that we have to be so good and so successful that you won't have an issue, starting to add to some size to these positions, because that's where you're going to make that money. This little choppy stuff, getting out a little too early is not going to help. It does prove the methodology, but we want to take advantage of these areas, and that's what we're going to do. Take advantage of these areas. So looking forward to tomorrow. Again, another day where can't wait for the futures to open up. The futures are open now, but we're kind of slowly grinding down. Not much going on. And we'll catch you in the morning. This is the Market Radar, and we'll catch you Thursday morning.